to wipe out Tibetan identity, to erase and change these children's, Tibetan identity so that they'll identify really as Chinese nationals first. They have to learn in Mandarin, and the heavy political indoctrination, the political education, and then just the curriculum is all around the Chinese lived experience. And fundamentally, I think by separating the children from their parents and their communities, so they live in these schools all year round, they're living away from Tibetan Buddhism. They can't practice Buddhism in these schools, and that's a central part of Tibetans' lives, daily lives, cultural identity. And this is all about eliminating Tibetan resistance to Chinese rule. It's quite clear that China's assimilationist, the Sinicization policy is really about ensuring loyalty to the party and to the Chinese nation first, and in order to get rid of the Tibet problem and the Uyghur problem as they see it.
How long have these schools been around for? Is there a catalyst that we can trace this campaign back to, such as the 2008 protests or Xi Jinping's rise to power?
I think you can really trace the rise of this policy to 2008 and to Xi Jinping's rise to power. So after the 2008 uprising and protests swept across all of Tibet, the Chinese authorities really started to rethink the sort of semblance of regional ethnic autonomy, respect for this diverse identity, Tibetan cultural identity within China. And they started to rethink whether this made sense for Tibetans for Tibetans to be allowed to be different. And when Xi Jinping came to power, I think he obviously was convinced that this was the way to eliminate this difference. I hope what we can see now with this report and the picture we have been able to piece together of what's happening right now to at least 800 to 900,000 Tibetan children, accounting for at least nearly 80% of all Tibetan students. This is a horrific picture of cultural annihilation, of really insidious campaigns to targeting Tibetan identity, targeting children. I can't imagine how horrific it must be to have to send your child so young and so really unable to defend for themselves away to boarding school with really no choice in the matter, because there are no local alternatives, and the government makes it impossible. There's nothing you can do but comply without getting fined or more serious threats if you really try to resist.